Hello everyone, this video is going to be looking at physical health and components of fitness. So this is what we're going to be looking at: defining health, fitness, exercise and performance, and then being able to understand the relationship between them all. Then we're going to look at the health related components of fitness, and there's 5 of them. So health is defined as a state of complete mental, physical and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So basically what that means is health doesn't just mean not being ill. It means having a state of complete mental, physical and social well-being. So a healthy person is someone that is physically well, mentally well. So physically well, their body's working, they've not got any diseases or issues. Mentally well, their brain and how they think is okay. They're socially happy, and they're free from disease. So they're the 4 things you need to remember for what defines health, so what a healthy person is. Then fitness is defined as the ability to meet the demands of the environment. So how well can you do something? Can you meet what's required, what is needed? The ability to meet the demands of the environment. So it doesn't just mean how far you can run or how good you are at sport. It means being able to physically cope, so your body can cope with the demands of everyday life. These demands can vary depending on things like lifestyle, occupation and age. So fitness might be a bit different for someone who's a lot older compared to someone who's probably your age. So a fit person might be someone who is able to make short journeys on foot or on a bike. So I'm sure you guys can all, well, some of you probably walk to school or cycle to school. So you've got some type of fitness. And if we look at exercise, exercise is defined as a form of physical activity done primarily to improve health and physical fitness. So exercise is something you do because you're trying to improve your health and physical fitness. That's the main reason you're doing it. So exercise is different to sport, however. Exercise can be any physical activity, even just going for a short walk. So if you're going for a walk because you want to improve your health and get physically fitter, then a walk can count as exercise. Remember what health is. It's physical health, mental health, socially happy, and not just the absence of disease. Okay? Sport tends to be competitive in some way, so that's where the difference might lie between exercise and sport. So look, they're going for a dog walk, they're not being competitive, there's no rules, well there might be rules for the little doggy, but there's no rules, there's no referees or anything like that. They're just going for a walk, but they might be doing it to improve their mental health, their physical health, their physical fitness, to be socially happy. You can see they're together. And performance, the final one, is defined as how well a task is completed. So how well did you do something? How well did you perform? What was your performance like? Having good health-related fitness will allow you to perform tasks well. So let's look at the relationship between health and fitness. So if you exercise regularly, that can help you increase your fitness. This can lead to an improvement in your health. And then regular exercise, good health and fitness will help improve your performance. So you can see how they're all linked. These are 2 answers that give you different ways of linking them all together. So the first one, regular exercise can increase fitness. This can lead to an increase in health. And regular exercise, good health and fitness will help improve your performance. And the second one is along similar lines. Exercise is an activity you do in order to improve or maintain your health and fitness. So you do exercise to keep improving or keep at a good level your health and fitness. If you then improve your fitness through this exercise, this will make you fitter for your activity and allow you to perform better. And they've included an example at the bottom. For example, a fitter footballer is less likely to get substituted during a game because their performance won't suffer as the game progresses. So if you're playing in a football match and you've got better fitness, you're going to be able to keep up with the demands of the game more. And then that means your performance isn't going to suffer. You're going to be able to, you're going to have good ability, and then your manager won't want to substitute you. Okay, so there's two different examples. You can pause it, you can write it down. Now we're going to look at health-related components of fitness, and there's 5 of these. Okay, so there's cardiovascular fitness, we're going to go through them, muscular endurance, muscular strength, flexibility, and body composition. The first one we're going to look at is cardiovascular fitness, and it's sometimes also known as aerobic endurance. So hopefully you remember aerobic means exercising with oxygen. So cardiovascular fitness / aerobic endurance, and this is the ability to exercise the whole body for long periods of time. So it's essential for sports which require exercise for prolonged periods. So long periods, prolonged periods mean the same thing. So someone who does long distance running or swimming or long distance cycling, they're going to need cardiovascular fitness. But it's also essential in individual and team sports like football. So if you're a footballer, you play football for 90 minutes. Even at your age, you probably play for 60 minutes. The same with rugby. With dancing, you're on your feet a lot, constantly moving. Similar with boxing, you're exercising the body for long periods of time. So that's what cardiovascular fitness / aerobic endurance means. Now, how can we improve our cardiovascular fitness? So to develop your cardiovascular fitness, you need to train in your aerobic zone, so using oxygen. And we know that that's 60 to 80% of your maximum heart rate. And there's the equation in case you've forgotten of how to work out your maximum heart rate. It's 220 minus your age. So I am 24 years old right now. So 220 minus 24 is 196. So my maximum heart rate is 196. So to develop my cardiovascular fitness, I want to train in my aerobic zone, which would be 60 to 80% of 196. Now I'm terrible at maths, so I'm not going to embarrass myself and try and work that out. But maybe you can pause it, work out your maximum heart rate, and then your aerobic zone. And you want to be exercising in this zone for at least 20 minutes to develop your cardiovascular fitness. So some sort of continuous training would benefit you. Now, as you get fitter, you might mix your training up and do different things. But to start with, you want to be doing continuous training. So that's how you can improve your cardiovascular fitness. Now, the way I remember aerobic zone and cardiovascular fitness is it can also be known as aerobic exercise. Aerobic endurance. So then you think, aerobic endurance, how can we improve it? Training the aerobic zone. Okay, so that's cardiovascular fitness. Next one we're going to look at is muscular endurance. There's a definition: the ability to use voluntary muscles repeatedly without getting tired. We know that voluntary muscles are the ones we have control of consciously, so we decide when to use them. And it's the ability to use those muscles repeatedly, so over and over, without them getting tired, so you have to stop. So again, you need these in long distance events. So like we just spoke about for cardiovascular fitness, it might be running, swimming, cycling, and in team sports again, like football, netball, you're stopping and starting, you're running all over the pitch, it's quite a large area. In tennis, you might play 3 sets or 5 sets. And then things even like skiing, when you're going down the mountain and you're going through the snow, you don't want your legs to get too tired or you won't be able to ski. So that's what muscular endurance is. So how can we improve it? So if you want to improve your muscular endurance, you want to train your muscles to exercise for longer periods of time. So you want to get them used to training for longer periods so they can develop their endurance. So you can use circuit, fartlek and weight training. These are brilliant types of training if you want to help develop your muscular endurance. Next one we're going to look at is muscular strength. So there's a key difference here. Muscular endurance is the ability to exercise voluntary muscles repeatedly without getting tired. Muscular strength is the maximum amount of force that you can exert against a resistance. So the amount of force you can exert against a resistance. So this can be applied in sport in different ways. It may be static strength, such as in gymnastics when you're performing a handstand, or it could be dynamic strength where you're moving, such as in cycling when you're going up a hill, or you're doing a bigger effort, you're putting in more effort along a flat area. Or rock climbing, if you're climbing up the side of a mountain, or you might be at a rock climbing centre and climbing up the wall. That involves dynamic strength. And then the last type of strength is your explosive strength. So that's when you're doing your maximum amount of force, like throwing a shot put because you're trying to throw it as far as possible, or weightlifting because you're trying to lift the most weight possible. So how can we improve muscular strength? So weight training is the best way to improve your muscular strength, because you are literally training your muscles with the weights. You're increasing weight as you train, and this will improve your muscular strength. So this is what you want to be doing when you're training. You want to do 3 to 4 sets of 4 to 6 repetitions at 80% of your 1 rep max. So if you do 4 to 6 repetitions, that means, say I have a 20 kilogram dumbbell and I'm going to do bicep curls. I do 4 to 6 bicep curls, and then I do this 3 or 4 times. So I'll have a rest, then I'll do another 4 to 6, then I'll have a rest, then do another 4 to 6, then I'll have a rest and do another 4 to 6. And this is at 80% of your 1 rep max. So your 1 rep max, as you can see at the bottom, is the maximum amount of weight a person can possibly lift for 1 repetition. So you want to do 80% of that. So if your max amount of weight you could lift was 10 kilogram, then you would be lifting 8 kilogram for 4 to 6 repetitions. Okay. Next one we're going to look at, I think, is flexibility, which is the range of movement possible at a joint. So at a joint, how much can you move? Okay. And this is needed in most sporting activities. It's extremely important in things like dance and gymnastics. In dance, you might kick your leg up, you might do the splits and a jump. In gymnastics, you might perform the splits when they're doing a floor piece, when they're doing like backflips, and then they go down into the splits, or you might do a straddle jump. But it's also important in other sports. So the hurdles, you need to be flexible to get your legs over the hurdles. The butterfly stroke in swimming. Now you might not know what the butterfly stroke is. So if you look in the top right corner, it's a swimmer demonstrating it. So her arms come from the side of her body, and then they'll come out in front of her arms and pull through the water. So her elbows are next to her head and her arms are out straight in front. So that's a big range of motion with your arms coming around and creating almost a circle motion. And then another good example is serving in tennis. The ball goes up high in the air, you bring the racket from behind you all the way forward, and you need good flexibility to be able to perform that serve. But how can you improve flexibility? You probably have worked this out. You can improve it through static and dynamic stretching. So stretching without moving, or stretching as you move. And this will help increase the range of movement. And in turn, this will reduce your risk of injury and aid performance. So this is why we do warm-ups and cool-down, because we want to reduce our risk of injury and improve our performance. And then the last health-related component of fitness is body composition. And all this means is the percentage of body weight which is fat, muscle and bone. So what percentage of the body is fat, muscle and bone? And in sport, different body types suit different sports. So in running, someone who's running long distance like Mo Farah doing 10,000 meters, a marathon, a half marathon, he is an ectomorph, which is a type of body shape. So here he has a narrow, thin body with low fat, because he's trying to run really far and go as fast as he can. So he doesn't want to be really big and carrying lots of weight. He wants to be nice and thin and light on his feet. Whereas in boxing, you want to be a mesomorph, another type of body shape, who builds muscle easy and has wide shoulders. Okay? And then in shot put, an endomorph, which is another type of body shape, who has wide hips and a pear-shaped body, and they store lots of fat really easily. So they're the bigger guys, and they need to be bigger so they can put more force through their throws in the shot put. So if we look at these photos, can you work out what they are representing? So pause it and work out which component of fitness these are representing. And then once you're ready, play it and we'll go through. So hopefully you've had a think.